Sometimes I make videos because I know that I won't always be in this situation. And I never want to forget it because the lessons that I learned living in my car, like with no love and no support from anyone in the world, like was invaluable. Heartbreaking, but invaluable. I want to share something and where I'm coming from with it. You can take it or leave it, I don't care. I do this shit for me too. This was something that I actually didn't know about myself until not too long ago, but there was always one question I wanted someone to ask me. I've been on my journey for 5 years now, like actually 5 years this month. I woke up from a dead sleep, and then it was the hardest fucking 5 years that I could have imagined. But I always wanted somebody to ask me what it was like for me. Because I'm usually either working with people and they just wouldn't think that to ask me that, we usually share and talk about those types of things anyway, but I knew that when somebody could ask me the question of what was it like for me, they would see beyond the mind in front of them. I have a love-hate relationship with my mind. Not a hate relationship, but a love, God damn it, why won't you ever stop type relationship. Because, I can't unsee things. I can't, not know shit. I can't stop my DNA from reading the field anytime anytime somebody asks me a question. I can't, not know. Because in every given moment, my field is opening up to whatever I need to know in the moment. Sounds like magic. It's not. It's field mechanics. I keep trying to teach everyone else the same thing. This is how the shit works. You think I run around with all of this knowledge just stored up there, waiting to pull it? No. I pull what I need when I need it. The DNA does that. It works just like scrolls. Little enzymes come out. You align your body, tune in with the field, whatever information is there that is relevant for what you need in the moment to get to wherever you're trying to go in the moment will appear. That's field mechanics, dog, and there's no debate. That's how it works, and you can prove it to yourself. But I didn't realize how important myself was, because for a long time, I didn't really do it like others did. I never didn't like my ego. I'll be honest, my ego's seen everything. All of my embodiments, everything that I've experienced, my ego had a front row seat. So it was years in before I ever knew that motherfucker wasn't even going for the ride. Legit, I thought the ego had seen everything too. Because I've been operating as two distinct Source and Self for a while. It's Spawn. Where do you think the idea from that movie came from? That's how it works. And usually it is me keeping that part of myself, Source Self, tame. It's the one that wants to misbehave. Source is a fucking menace, yo. But it is a ginormous misconception that you are supposed to come down here and not be an individual self. That was the whole point. And I know that throughout traditions, we've been told that you want to get here and empty yourself, and you don't want for things in life. And those were all different stages of alchemy, because we played out the whole thing on a macro scale. But what would have been the point? We're already everything before we ever come in. What the hell would we have created all this for if the only plan was, all right, now go down there, forget everything about what we spent all this time creating that for, and just go back to dissolving into oneness. Yeah, we all run the same oneness behind the scenes. Like, same thing that powers me powers you, but you and I are not the same. None of us are. That's by design. Every experience has shaped you. Every wiring that you have has shaped you. Like, we truly are unique, and that was the whole point. We definitely lost our way with, like, the way that we want for things here, just as a race, you know, like, it was never supposed to be, like, the with or the withouts. But, like, you was always going to need to work and put in the effort for what you wanted in life, and that was, the design is simple. What do you love? Are you passionate enough to go for it? You can get paid to exist doing what you love if you put the work in. Why would we do that? Because we don't have that on the other side. And yeah, it's real simple for any of us to be like, shit, why do I have to wait? Why can't I snap my fingers and make it happen? But, like, what you forgot is that what we're doing right now came way, 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 way after all of that. We got bored. We are trying to become better humans and better version of ourselves, and take the human from what it's currently understood as into its next evolution. We've seen it, it's played out. That's what this whole thing is. We are in the evolution of the next human. And yeah, elements change. And yeah, bodies change. And yeah, it's very physical. And yeah, reality around changes. But, like, this is a journey of self-discovery. Now let that sink in, think in too. But you are the self. Fucking, it knows what it is. It literally knows what it is, bro. It is not looking for you to tell it what it is. It is looking to pretend it does not know what it is. And we all know this because we're all participating. But I think it was that question, you know, where I just wanted to, like, know somebody could, like, see me as a human. And in that moment, like, I realized, like, I thought I had to do away with the human, but it was never that. It was just the low-level human living we're doing as a race, as a collective. That's why we all showed up. That's why we came into the bloodlines, and it was all about cleansing the bullshit so that we could be this without all that. That's what the lineage lines were getting purified for. And yeah, that's what we're watching play out. And yeah, that's what's a really, really hard process. But during the process, you are supposed to figure out who you are as an individual, because you were made beautifully unique. And you cannot do that doing shit like going to TikTok trends and trying to find what people are talking about. That makes you no different than the one person who posts some little video and 15 million people follow. I've never understood that logic at all. In the journey of self-discovery, there are no trends. It's you and you. And no one can tell you what that means, and no one can tell you what makes you happy. For some people, a little spot out in the woods with no people is their slice of heaven. Good. There's a part of, like, go do that. Others, it's running big, huge companies and never having a minute to breathe. Like, cool, go do that. Like, go do you. Just don't do anything that's not you. And I feel like I've went backwards. Like, I have went backwards. I even teach backwards. But a lot of people in life reach financial success and then start seeking something deeper when they realize the money can't fill that void. And I went backwards. I learned all of that first. And then I set myself up in a way so that when I do have riches, that will never even be mine. But, like, when I have resources unlimited, none of that made me. None of that determined who I was showing up to you right now while I'm living in the back of a beat up car with 375,000 miles on it, leaking oil. It was hit, a deer hit it. Like, I've been humbled. Oh my God, I have been humbled. It took a lot to not care this much. And it takes a lot more knowing where I'm going to not let any of it faze me. But a big reason of why I do this shit is because no, it's not for everybody. Everybody don't have the balls to go do this. Everybody don't have the courage to stand in the mirror and say, hey, this was your fault, work on it. Simple as it sounds. But for the ones that do, that's who I built for. I actually don't give a fuck about anyone else. Like, if you're not trying to improve your life in some way as a human and do your part in creation, whatever that is to you. I would never tell somebody what that's got to be. Shit, it might be digging up earthworms. Like, bro, if that is your passion, that is your responsibility. Go dig up earthworms. Some people get paid for it, right? Like, but do you. Something you. Quit trying to be like everybody else. That's why we're here. And that shit's just weird. Literally, like, I can't even wrap my head around the logic of seeing somebody else do something and then wanting to do the same. Like, I don't work that way. I never have. It's why I get fired from so many jobs when I had it. I don't follow any system. I can't. Like, if I'm doing something and it requires step-by-step instructions, I am going to fuck it up because I cannot follow another set of instructions. Like, I'm just not wired that way. Even when I need to. I told you, this is, my mind is beautiful in a lot of ways, but it really fucks me up in a lot of ways too, because everything I just told you was not even exaggerating. But I always wanted somebody to ask me, like, what was it like? Not even so that I could tell them, because truth is, like, had the right person asked, I probably would have fucking crumbled in that moment. But instead, I had to crumble to myself in the question. And for a long time, I did. Every time I asked myself that question, I did crumble and break down. And still when I think about the questions, like, I literally can't even, like, put it into words what it was like. But it was really never about that. It was never about me telling somebody that question. It was about being seen. And, like, I didn't realize how important that was to me. It's important to every one of us. I get to see this in my work because in order for me to work with somebody, they have to be seen as they are. And that's always the first thing we work on. And people will tell me, like, bro, I feel like, thank you. I've never felt so seen. It's like, that's because nobody asked you about you, did they? Who have you ever went to go for and the first thing they do is ask you about you, truly? You go see an astrologer, they hand you what the planets are doing. Never even bring in the fucking star. Planets revolve around the star. Why do I need to know what they're doing when you didn't take the star into consideration? That's why all of my energy reads hit different. And that's how all of my work works. And in doing this work, at no point am I ever trying to get someone to see their source self better. No. Is it with you? Like, source doesn't need to be seen better. Source doesn't give a fuck about that. Source knows us the shit. I know I'm the shit as it. But as a human being standing in front of you, still living in my car, I'm still learning to be the best version of this. Not perfect, just the best version of it. What can I accomplish as this? And that's a hard thing to stay focused on, considering my situation. Somehow I do. And I'm not gonna lie, like, it's always been just me and Source. But if you think Source is over here, like, giving me some sort of handout. So no, dog, that shit lives within all of us. All of us, not something outside of us. Who the fuck am I going to turn around and ask for anything at this point? You know? Who are you going to ask when you know your source? What, you going to go ask an angel when you know that your source? You're going to call on an angel? You're going to go down the line and try to find something? We're trying to be the best versions of ourselves. That was the whole Pinocchio story, truly. Sources like Geppetto, always trying to just create a perfect human. But perfect doesn't mean good or bad or how they act. It's just a goddamn human that goes out and is just a human and knows what they are and then still goes out and do it. And that's really the only thing I'm striving for. I want my son to be proud. I want to be proud. Because I never really allowed myself to be proud of shit. Yeah.